Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're visiting for the first time, my name is Rose and I'm on a debt-free journey. So I budget all my paychecks and I'm just trying my very best to change my money mindset, improve my money management skills so that I can live a better and more peaceful life. So in today's video, I'm going to be updating and closing out my January 31st paycheck. So we are paid semi-monthly on the 15th of the month and the last day of the month. So my January 31st paycheck covered all my expenses between January 31st and February 14th because today is the 13th of the month and I'm expecting early deposit today. So I want to go ahead and close this out so I can go ahead and budget for the 15th paycheck. First thing I'm going to be doing is to update the income section with the actuals. So the actual income, which was our main income, was $36.50. Family contribution was $300, and the amount that I rolled over from the 15th paycheck was $600 towards the rent. All right, so I do not put my rollover into the budgeted column because I don't want to be overstating my income. So because I'm going to be using it in this paycheck, this pay period, then I put it in the actual. All right. And it's the same thing when I did my monthly budget. It is stated here, but it's not included in the total income. All right, so let us go over to the expense tracker. I'm going to be doing my overall expense tracker and then just a quick review of the consumer debt tracker just to make sure that everything is on par. All right, so on the 31st, personal loan number one was taken out for $620.37. This is on autopay. Personal loan number two, $383.16. That's on autopay as well. Car loan number two, that's on autopay. That's $230.94. Rent was paid on the first for $2,433.90. That was made by debit card payment. Auto insurance got on the first as well. That's auto pay for $172.51. We purchased fuel on the second for $44.97. On the fourth, this is the Ashley Furniture credit card that was paid for $30. The water bill was paid for $164.75 on the 5th. Google subscription came out on the 6th for $1.99, and we did fuel again on the 7th for $47.43. On the 8th, we did home security, that's on autopay, that's $77.32. Toyota subscription on the 8th as well for $8, that's on debit card. It's autopay, but it's autopay from debit, not checking. Microsoft subscription came out on the 9th. That's autopay debit as well. That's $6.99. And I need to add one more transaction here, the 13th. And this is going to push us over our budget for fuel. I'm going to round this up to $50. It's 49 and change, but I'm just going to round it up to $50. All right, so I'm going to go over to the budget by paycheck and I'm going to enter all the fixed amounts and then I'll go back to the expense tracker to sum all the variables. All right, so rent was paid for 24.33. Let me go back here, make sure it's correct. 24.33.90. Okay, so from paycheck I only budgeted $840 to go towards the rent. That's because I had the rollover amount that was coming from the other paycheck to make up the difference. All right, water, trash, and sewer. For water, trash, and sewer, that was $164.75. For security, that was $77.32. And for auto and renters insurance, that was $172.51. Okay. All right, I budgeted $2,252.95, but the actual spending was $2,848.48. Now remember, it's gonna show over budgeted here or overspent in this category because I did not include the rollover in the amount of income that I was budgeting here. So that's the reason why we are over here for $593.90. For water, trash, and sewer, we're over by $4.80. This $4.80 is the fee to pay the bill, but I did not remember to calculate the fee when I was doing the budget because I normally just include the billed amount and the fee as one. So that's where this $4.80 is coming from. All right, so let's move down to the debt section. All right, so this is where I deviated from my plan. For auto loan number one, I plan to make the half payment because it was on the split pay method, but I had something to do and I did not make this payment. So this is going to be zero, and I'll put the amount that I spent here over into the unbudgeted expense category here. Auto loan number two was auto draft for $230.94. Personal loan that was successfully paid for $630.37. Personal loan number two also was successfully paid, $383.16, and the credit card was paid for $30. Now, this extra debt payment right here, that's not yet made, this $21.56, this is the amount that was left over when I budgeted, and I put it here just to hold the space because I need to make an extra debt payment on or before the 28th of this month. All right, so it's not yet paid. So to make things a little less complicated, I'm just gonna put zero here. Okay, so for that section, I budgeted $1,530.07 and actually spent $1,264.47 towards my debt. Okay. For variable, why did I not budget for fuel? I know I didn't budget for groceries because I used money from another account to cover groceries a day before we got paid. So I just took that money back from the groceries, and that's accounted for in my January budget. So I didn't put anything here from this paycheck towards groceries. So that's correct. But for fuel, I know I budgeted $100. Let me go back to my forecasting. Well, $200 for the month. So it should have been $100 per pay period. All right, so let's go over to the expense tracker and see how much I spent on fuel. So for fuel, we spent $142.40. So we're gonna put that right here in the actual. Nothing was for groceries, and I cannot get paid enough soon enough so I can go grocery shopping because I am really running low. All these other areas we had no activities, so I'm just filling them with zeros. The miscellaneous section, I budgeted $199 for Google, $699 for Microsoft, and $8 for my Toyota Safety Connect, and all that was paid $699 and $8. All right. So for the unbudgeted expense that I did use the auto load money to cover, sent shipping off those 2 barrels to Jamaica, I did not budget for that, so I'm going to put zero in here, and I'm going to put the $220 here. All right, so it's $220 because the pickup cost was split between myself and the other persons who were sending barrels as well. Okay, so let me just double check how much money I have in the bank account. Okay, so I have 1701 plus 2530. Okay, so in the primary account there is 1701, and in the bills account there is 2539. So that's $42.40. So my spreadsheet is over the amount that I have in the bank account again by $15.27. All right, so I will not close this paycheck. So I'm just going to keep it as updated and go through the transactions to see if I can find that $15. I think I have an idea as to where that $15 went, but I need to go through and double check. Then I'll be able to update this $15 here. All right, let me take a look at the consumer debt tracker just to make sure that everything is point here. So the only thing that I can check off with on the consumer debt tracker is the Ashley Furniture bill that was paid on the 4th. That's the only thing that can be checked off because these are not yet paid. All right, so this is good. All right, so thank you all for tuning in for this budget update. I will not be officially closing this paycheck budget, but I am able to move on into allocating funds for my upcoming paycheck. So I will be doing that video soon. All right, so if you have any questions, comments, or anything you're not clear about, you can leave me a comment in the comment section and I'll be definitely clarifying that for you. All right, so until the next video, happy budgeting.